Welcome to this economic outlook. Today, we're diving deep into a critical issue: the challenges facing Pakistan's economy. Over the past year, Pakistan has been grappling with a significant economic crisis. Inflation is soaring, the currency is weakening, and everyday life is becoming increasingly difficult for many people. In this video, we'll explore the reasons behind this crisis, the underlying issues at play, and potential solutions that could put Pakistan back on the path to economic stability. The looming storm: understanding the crisis. Now, the rapid decline of Pakistan's currency is threatening to bankrupt the country. But how did all of this happen? And what's coming next for the struggling nation? To fully grasp the unfolding crisis in Pakistan, we first need to look at their early successful years between 1893 and 1947. What is now known as Pakistan was a part of the British Indian Empire. After achieving independence of 40 years, an economic plan was conceived by the Ministry of Finance. The plan was broken down into 8 separate 5-year plans, each with its own series of goals. The first 5-year plan was to be implemented between 1955 and 1960, but unfortunately, it failed miserably. The period was plagued by significant political and economic instability, which lasted until 1958, when a new leader took control of the nation. Ayub Khan served as president of Pakistan for 11 years. He was in charge of implementing the second 5-year plan. It included rapid industrialization and advancement in education, literacy, and science. The plan's main goal was to advance the country as far as possible within the next 5 years. Along the road of these long-range objectives, President Khan pushed major industrial development, including the construction of railways, power stations, and hydroelectric dams. He increased the nation's focus on scientific education and reduced agricultural regulations, among other expansions of the private sector. The government's focus was to provide significant temporary stimulus while also encouraging entrepreneurship that would produce sustainable economic activity. Over time, these changes, alongside a crackdown on corruption and civil unrest, drove the strongest period of GDP growth in Pakistan's history, exceeding 10% annually. The success of this period didn't go unnoticed around the world, with many countries looking to emulate Pakistan's economic success. After the Korean War, South Korea took steps to implement elements of Pakistan's second 5-year plan. They developed various core industries such as oil refinery, iron, and steel. They built roads, railways, and ports, and expanded their energy sector with the development of coal-powered plants. Factors such as frequent political changes create uncertainty for investors and hinder long-term economic planning. The devastating floods of 2022 dealt a harsh blow to infrastructure, agriculture, and the overall economy. The underlying issues: a deeper look. In 2023, Pakistan's economy faces a crisis marked by soaring inflation and looming bankruptcy. But how did this predicament arise? The genesis of Pakistan's economic woes lies in a 25-year period marked by excessive borrowing. In 1999, the national debt was a modest 3 trillion rupees. However, successive governments, cycling in and out of power every few years, continued to ramp up borrowing, leading to the national debt ballooning to around 60 trillion rupees by 2022. This represents a doubling of the debt every 5 years over 2.5 decades. By fiscal year 2023, the situation had become dire, with debt service payments surpassing the entire annual revenue. All government income was being channeled into servicing debt, leaving no room for other essential expenditures like defense and healthcare, which were being funded by further borrowing. Despite this exponential increase in debt, economic growth remained sluggish, with GDP only expanding by about 3% annually. Compounding matters: the majority of Pakistan's debt was owed to external creditors, with over 90% being borrowed from sources outside the country. As global confidence waned, lending and investment in Pakistan dwindled. This forced the government to resort to printing more currency to meet debt obligations, resulting in a steep decline in the value of the rupee and exacerbating inflation. The trade deficit further exacerbated the situation. Pakistan imports significantly more than it exports. Low productivity across various sectors and a lack of diversity in exports compound the problem, akin to running a shop that sells only one product, unsustainable in the long term. Moreover, the tax system in Pakistan is in dire need of reform. The tax base is narrow, with many evading taxes altogether, akin to a party where only a few guests bring food. Investing in education and infrastructure is crucial for long-term growth. A skilled workforce and efficient systems are essential for a thriving economy, yet corruption remains a significant challenge. Misuse of resources hampers progress and discourages investment, akin to building a house on a shaky foundation. Despite these challenges, Pakistan must address these underlying issues to foster sustainable economic growth and avoid further deterioration. Seeking solutions, a path forward, the government is taking steps to address the crisis. Negotiations with the IMF and austerity measures are some examples. Boosting exports is key. Increasing productivity, offering competitive incentives, and diversifying what Pakistan exports are all crucial. Tax reforms are essential. Broadening the tax base and tackling tax evasion will create a more sustainable source of government revenue. Investing in education and infrastructure is a long-term game changer. A skilled workforce and efficient systems are the building blocks of a strong economy. Developing renewable energy sources is vital. Think of it as switching from a candle to a solar panel, a brighter future. Finally, tackling corruption is essential. Transparency and accountability ensure resources are used effectively and attract foreign investment. Thank you for joining us on this insightful journey through the complexities of economics. We hope you've gained valuable knowledge. Until next time, keep learning and empowering yourself with economic wisdom. Goodbye for now.